I've got a very silly story for you today, but it really sums up the point. When I was 18, me and I think 3 or 4 of us, other friends, we went to Kavos for a week. And it was everything that you can imagine and more. Chaos. Chaos in Kavos. A week of it. And with a lack of sleep, even though I've proved myself slightly differently, having not really slept for 7 years, I sleep a bit better now, but I certainly didn't for a lot of the preschool years. I cope well. I mean, I had youth on my side, and we were out. We were out to all hours of the day and morning. And I remember on the final day, waiting for I was going to say taxi. It probably wasn't a taxi. It was probably, a bus where you just load everybody on. And I remember sitting in this bar at the end of the bar and having a baked bean and cheese toastie. Now, this was not a high-end establishment. The toasting machine was literally behind the bar, so I watched the person make it. But when I received this, I can't tell you how glorious it was. It was everything I wanted and more in that moment. I was requiring cozy and comforting, maybe familiar, and it was great. And I always remember that moment because that bar, that toastie, it felt like it solved a lot of problems. It gave me carbs, it gave me reassurance, and just a bit of sense before I embarked upon this coach journey. And what I want to say in this very long-winded way is to remind you that the solution that you provide for people doesn't have to be long-winded. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can simply be exactly what this person wants. And sometimes that is simplicity, that is speed, and that is perfect alignment. I would like to be able to tell you next time we talk about these sort of things of a more sophisticated experience I had, but that literally popped into my head today. A baked bean toastie with cheese in, probably some ketchup to dip it in. Perfect. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. If you are putting off selling your service, your product, launching something because you're waiting for this experience, this big build, consider whether it's necessary. I'm not saying just throw something together and hope for the best, but your client may want simplicity. That's all I'm going to say and throw it out there. And I'm also now thinking, I wish I hadn't got rid of my toasty machine. Anyway, I can definitely buy another one. That's okay. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. And I definitely don't need to ever go back to Kavos to experience that. It's all up here. It's all up here. Lots of love. See you next time.